Hey guys, in this video I am going to talk about selection sets. Selection sets is just a way of selecting geometry on the screen. AutoCAD has many different ways of doing that, primarily so that you can make your selections more accurate, especially once your drawing starts getting very complicated and very busy. But just to demonstrate, I have just a normal page here with a few shapes on it. But the first one is called a crossing window. And to do a crossing window, you just click in a blank spot on the screen one time with the left mouse button and then drag it across the geometry. It will select everything that it crosses. Okay, so everything it touches, it will select. However, the opposite of that is to do a window selection, where take the word crossing out of it and you just have window selection, and with window selection you're drawing a window the same way you were doing before, but the geometry has to be completely encompassed in the window. As I click here, you'll see that the only thing selected were these two lines. Okay. You can also, let's see, what else can you do? You can select by polygon, and to do polygon selection you would, let's see, click in the screen anywhere. Let's do it right here. And to do a crossing polygon, you would type, after clicking, you would type CP, the letter CP on your keyboard. And then you can draw a little, this is not fence, this is polygon. Yeah, that's right. I was thinking I was going to explain fence. But as you see, I can make a multi-sided object on the screen, and it will select everything. Messed up there. It will select everything that it crosses, and of course to execute that you got to click enter, and you see everything it crossed, it selected. The opposite of that is a window polygon. That's what it is. So to do that one, once I click in the screen and release, I just type WP and I get a window polygon. Okay, now this one, just like before, everything must be encompassed before it will select. So the only thing that should get selected here is that little square and that one line. They're completely encompassed in my polygon, my window polygon. All right. So those are two ways, or several ways. Those are 4 ways. And another one, this is the simplest one. I probably should have showed you this one first, but you can just click on every piece of geometry that's on the screen. Just click and it will select. And the way it's set up is that with AutoCAD you can chain select without having to hold down the shift button or the control button. So that's another way of selecting. One more way is a fence. You can draw a fence, and that's just clicking one time in the drawing area, typing the letter F, and then everything you draw through, it will select. Okay. Okay, the next one is a lasso select, and it also does a crossing select and a full window select as well. To do a lasso select, you'll click in an empty space on your screen and hold the mouse button down, and then just start drawing a lasso. It will select from right to left everything that it encompasses, but starting over here at the right, the left going right, it must completely encompass, as you see there, it must completely encompass the geometry in order to select it. So let's do one where we at least get something completely in the window. There we go. So that is lasso selection, 2 ways of doing that. The next type of selection is called chain selection, I believe, and it's real simple. Well, it starts out not being so simple, but once you set it up, then you're ready to go. You don't have to really mess with it again. But first thing we have to do is we have to type in FS mode into our dynamic input, press enter, and it will say FASTSEL chain selection on or off. If you've never done it before, it'll say off. I've turned mine on, so that's why it says on, but you would just type off or on in the dynamic input section and then click enter to get it to turn off or on. In order to use it, again, get into your screen, click in an open spot, and then type just the letters FS this time. Click the enter button, and now what it'll do is it'll select all the geometry that is connected to the geometry you select. So if I want to select this circle and everything that is connected to it, I click and you see it also selected this line that runs through the edge of the circle right over here. All right, but how do you remove geometry that you accidentally selected or you selected too much of or whatever? Let's select all of these first. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the shift button down and select the geometry that I want to remove. And the only way I've found that this one works is if you're doing a lasso or a window. So I'll hold the shift button down and I'll click to draw a crossing window, and then click, and it removes those two items from the overall selection. The next one is called Quick Select, and you have to be kind of imaginative to understand how this one will work. But you just type in the letter Q Select, or type in the word Q Select. Only in AutoCAD do you get words like that. And then push the enter button, and you get a Q Select window. And you can apply it to the entire drawing or whatever else you have. Right now I've only got a drawing, so that's all I can add or change it to, or I can't change it at all. Or let's see, object type, line, circle, or polyline. Let's say lines, okay, of a line type. So we can type in line type, and then the operator equals what? Equals value by block, by layer, or continuous. So we'll just do it by continuous. Include in new selection set, include from new selection set, or exclude, I'm sorry, I didn't read that correctly. Exclude from collection set, so you can choose or unchoose this way. And append to current selection set is the last check mark here. But let's see what happens. We're going to apply this to the entire drawing. We're going to select lines, properties of line type, which equals continuous. Okay, we click there, and there must not be any continuous lines. It seems like there would be. Let's try this one. Okay, so Q select. I was thinking the other lines would fall under that that category. We'll do circle, and we will do let's see, we can do color. Color's already selected. By layer, all that's already selected, so it equals white, or by layer, whatever's on that layer, and click the OK button, and now it's selected my circles. Okay, and there's two ways you can do that type of select. And there's one question on the exam that's going to ask you, it's going to have like a screen full of just all this geometry, all different shapes and sizes, and it wants you to count the circles. And at first that kind of freaks people out. You can do it like I just did to select those circles, okay, and then right click on one of them and get the properties, and you see the properties tells us we have 3 circles. Or you can use this next selection method, which would be to click on a circle or whatever shape it is you want to collect or select, right click and go to, let's say, select similar. Click on that, and it will select all of the similar shapes or types of geometry. Okay. Okay, well that is it, or all I'm going to go over anyway. There are a couple more, but like filter selection, but I'll let you figure that out on your own later. I think I've probably overwhelmed you with the different ways that you can select your geometry. but there's a couple of others, but they're just really redundant of what we've already done. I don't even think they're totally necessary. But that's it for selection sets. And like I said, with AutoCAD, there's a ton of different ways to do everything. So hopefully this video helps you, and thank you for watching.